Good evening. Welcome to Raw Dogs Radio. And we are here to talk about the Cleveland Browns. Now, I've been a long time fan since birth. I remember, one of my earliest memories about the Browns was my family. I come from a big family on my mother's side, and they were huge Browns fans. And I remember them screaming and yelling at the TV. And I remember watching Brian Sight play. And I've been a Browns fan ever since. It's family tradition. And although I live in Atlanta now, I've always loved my Browns. Now, what we need to do, in all honesty, is focus first on the team because there's also a business side to this that Browns fans and people of Cleveland, I'm telling you, as much stuff as we have went through with Jimmy Haslam, the man has a plan and he's got a team in place in order to make it happen. Because not once has he talked about selling the Browns. All he's tried to do is make them a winning team, a winning organization, because there is no fan base like the Cleveland Browns. Which, if you are a smart businessman owning a successful Cleveland Browns team, will put you right up there. You'll probably wind up surpassing Jerry Jones. That's how many Browns fans there are. I mean, I'm born and raised in Cleveland. Where do I live? I'm in Atlanta. I'm a Browns fan. Can't stand the Falcons. I used to call them the Atlanta F-ups. Trying not to curse. Because when the Browns were down, I needed to root for somebody, so I chose the 49ers for a while. I still rooted for my Browns, but I chose the 49ers for a while. Yeah, it was a weird day in my house in 1990 when the Browns and 49ers clashed and Webster Slaughter took that hit from Ronnie Lott and bounced right back up, shaking it off. And Mike Pagel he almost brought him back. I was so proud of my Browns. I was so proud. I was so proud. uh, I still remember the inside the NFL highlight reel in my head. I watched it so much because they just showcased the grit and determination that the Browns had. And Webster Slaughter was the spark when Bernie Kosar went down. At any rate, look, this whole Deshaun Watson thing, let's be 100% honest about this because, see, a lot of people don't want to touch this, although the media did let it out where Deshaun Watson was getting these quote unquote massage therapists from. He was getting them from Instagram. And brief history of the Instagram model, because you all have heard of Instagram models, but it's like, well, what are these girls famous for? Well, they're not famous for modeling because there's a difference between models on Instagram, models who have an Instagram to promote their modeling, and then there are Instagram models who, you know, take trips to Dubai, always in somebody else's hot tub or somebody else's house, somebody else's car, excuse me, in different locations. I mean, the not so secret tale of Instagram models is that back when Craigslist cleaned up their act, those girls went to Backpage and then the Fed shut down Backpage. So where do you think those girls went? They went to Instagram, Twitter, okay, um, TikTok, uh, Snapchat, Okay, some have went to Facebook. They went to all the social media apps, but you know, Instagram models are just pilfered with those girls, and a lot of them offer quote unquote massage therapy as a cover. I mean, you can't just flat out say it. I mean, come on. Two grand juries said, well, there was sex, but it wasn't illegal. It was consensual. So there's not enough evidence to charge him with any type of assault. Like, yes, we know sex. Yes, sex took place, but it wasn't an assault. I mean, come on. These now 23 girls, because the 23rd girl is why the grand jury stepped in the second time, because the lawyer, funny how all 23 of these girls have the same lawyer, but at any rate, we'll get to that. The lawyer sent her to another county because the county that he first went to didn't want to hear it. It was like, oh, we see what this is, because it started off as a civil suit. You filed 22 separate claims. You, the one lawyer, filed 22 separate claims with these girls because you know that usually a person of Deshaun's status, they'll just settle the lawsuits just to make it go away. But Deshaun switched up the game and was like, no, I have the smoking guns. I'm going to challenge all of them, because really all he has to do is just win the first two. And then you don't have to worry about him going through all of them. Trust me, because those girls don't have money like that, and they'll see the losses stacking up, and they'll be afraid that their dirty little secret will be exposed next. They'll back down. If you can't see this for what this is, then shame on you. Shame on your common sense. Well, it's 22. They can't all be lying. Well, then if they all weren't lying, then why didn't all of them show up, just 9, to talk to the district attorney? Don't tell me about no scared when the first thing you did was got rounded up by one attorney to file a civil suit, thinking that, once this goes public, he'll just throw money at it, it'll go away. Your name, excuse me, Pollen. Welcome to Atlanta. He'll throw money at it. Your name probably won't even get you won't have to worry about your name getting out there or anything. But the one girl that tried to blackmail him, they had to put her on TV. Or maybe y'all don't know about that because you didn't read the text messages, all of them, because they were all talking. They all knew what was going on. When you go to give Deshaun Watson a massage, they was letting each other know, in all honesty, yeah, he'll pay you. Just know that this is what he wants. So if they were so against it, then why did they go? Sometimes you guys just got to understand how girls talk. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to harp on this, but I'm just sick of having this argument. The man is now our starting quarterback. 3 number ones, which will, if he plays like we expect him to play, those will be low 20s, maybe 30s round draft picks. Those will be the excuse me, those draft picks will be throwaways. Those draft picks will be throwaways with the team that we have, that they've assembled. Who the hell are we going to pick in the low first round to replace who? To replace who? Whatever person that needs to be replaced, we can replace them with a second round pick. This team is loaded, and we've got the money for free agency. You have a very smart front office in place. A third and a fourth. Yeah, you want this guy on the field. That's the franchise. Why are you against him? Please don't act so pious. Because I'm pretty sure if we dug into your closet, there'd be some skeletons in there. Some of you have graveyards. So let's stop the BS and get behind our quarterback. Don't nobody look. The Panthers said no thanks to Baker Mayfield. Okay? He's not that good. He's not good at all. Nobody cares. Okay, a lot of quarterbacks play injured, but the injuries weren't his problem. Reading the defense and running the offense properly was his problem. Stefanski couldn't put up with that, and he failed to take responsibility for his actions. He had to go. He's a child. Pointed fingers at everybody except himself. Kurt Warner exposed that in his all 22 on Baker Mayfield. They're like, wow, like, look, he's missing these wide open wide receivers running deep downfield, and he's just dumping it off to Austin Hooper, who, of course, drops it. I mean, come on. He's not running the offense as designed like he did last year. We can't take it shouldn't take you 5 years to figure out if a quarterback is good or not. Deshaun Watson carried the Texans franchise on his back. When they took away DeAndre Hopkins, who was really the only person he had to throw to, the Texans stopped making the playoffs. Then they hired Scrub as coaches. And then they tried to rub it in Deshaun Watson's face by hiring Lovie Smith as head coach. I mean, I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, if that's not a diversity hire, I don't know what it is. Like, you didn't want him. Come on, this guy got ran out of Tampa. He out there drinking with his players. This is you hired as your head coach. You hired Brian Billick all over again. Good luck with that. At any rate, yeah, get behind your quarterback. We don't have time for this. Jesus Christ, see it for what it is. It's a shakedown. That's all it is. It's a shakedown for money. Yeah, it's a known fact that the lawyer lives in the same neighborhood as the owner of the Texans. No, they're not best friends, but I don't believe in coincidences. Somebody introduced them, and then the plan was hatched. And the problem is that it's not going away. Deshaun Watson is fighting it. And we're sitting up here, the only ones in Cleveland, and believe me, we're the only ones who are mad that he's here because of these stupid 22 cases. I know the media brings it up, but they're just wondering, well, what is he going to do? Is he going to settle it? And then will the NFL suspend him for misconduct for 6 games? But he was cleared by a grand jury, so there was no illegal activity going on. So clearly this was consensual. I mean, we know what it is. Instagram models. Come on. And we know why this came forth, Texans owner. He's just trying to get some money back from Deshaun. So are they going to suspend him or will they let him play? He's talking about fighting the cases. Does this mean that he will still be able to play while he fights these cases? And will he have the time to fight these cases? That's what they're worried about. They want Deshaun Watson. In all honesty, the NFL wants Deshaun Watson on the field. And the people are pressuring. The people are pressuring or wondering. The people of Cleveland are pressuring. They're pressuring the NFL to do something because they keep talking about this in a negative light. That's stupid. He's your quarterback. You should do everything you in your power to not want him to be suspended by realizing exactly what this is and saying, hey, we ain't worried about them cases. We just want him to come and play. Like, okay, so he didn't assault nobody. Okay, cool. That's enough for me. Let's go play. Let him handle that. That's his business. Clearly, this is some stuff going on that I don't know nothing about. All I hear is 22 cases. You know, don't know the intricacies of none of this. Not even trying to get into it. Stop looking for a reason to hate the guy because he's replacing Baker, which again, not even the Panthers want. They're starved at quarterback, and even they don't want him. They don't even want Cam Newton back just to sell tickets. Damn. If you want to follow him wherever he go, then cool. But that you weren't a Browns fan. You're clearly not a Browns fan if that's where you're leaning, because the team is not about one individual player. It's about the team. Who's on the team? You ain't on the team? Hey, I wish you well. But I'm rooting for the team. Hell, for as long as we bent over backwards for Josh Gordon and hugged Kareem Hunt when he jumped into the dog pound, I don't want to hear it. Get off your fucking high horse. I don't want to hear it. Get behind the team. The man's on the team now. Legitimate. Guaranteed $200 million. He's your starting quarterback. A bona fide. Grade A++. Franchise changing quarterback. And you mad over some Instagram models? Are you kidding me? That's so stupid and petty. I don't. Man, y'all make me ashamed. At any rate, getting to who we should thank for us having a chance to actually be a Super Bowl contender and having a bona fide starting quarterback, which this franchise so desperately needed ever since we ruined Tim Couch. Got a great offensive line. Hopefully, the center and left tackle and right tackle, Conklin, hopefully these guys hold up. But luckily enough, because those guys went down, we discovered that we at least have a good right tackle. Young and upcoming good right tackle. Left tackle, we got to find a good backup for Wills because, good Lord. I mean, a lot of that was Baker's fault, holding on to the ball too long because he's confused, trying to read the defense, waiting on somebody to get open when he's already missed the first read because he didn't even look that way. At any rate, running game solid. The only thing we got to do is shore up that second wide receiver spot. Of course, they're talking to Jarvis Landry. And when I got the news about Deshaun Watson, I, like a lot of other people, started tweeting Jarvis Landry like, dude, you got to come back. You got to come back. It can't be about the money. You got to come back. And of course, the Browns are in talks because it's either him or Will Fuller. Or maybe they might see what Donovan Peoples-Jones can do. He has been growing. He's been growing. He's really been panning out to be the steal of the draft that everybody said he was. He made some tough catches last year. He had problems with one-on-one coverage, uh, like running go routes. But, you know, he's been improving. He's been improving every year. I'm very proud of him. So we'll see what happens with that. Of course, we shored up our linebacking unit with trading Wilson for Winovich, which is great because he and Mac Wilson, they both do the same things, except Winovich actually makes the tackle. That's the difference. Winovich makes the tackle. The running back does not slip through his grasp. The tight end does not slip through his grasp. Okay, the wide receiver does not slip through his grasp. He makes the tackle. He fights off the blocks. He plays the run real tough, and he can cover. He can cover a little bit. He can cover a back or a tight end going out into the flat. He can cover the flat. Yeah, so you pretty much got the same player. Just one can tackle and one is on the Patriots. Um, um, we got to see what they do at defensive tackle because you need at least two good ones. Now I'm thinking maybe that's probably where they'll lean with the second pick of the draft. They might sign a free agent. Jadeveon Clowney looks likely to be back because he's not getting the offers that he thought he would get, and the Browns are giving him the best offer that he's going to get. So if he wants to play football this upcoming season, he's going to have and make money, max money. He's going to have to come back to Cleveland. Now, if he's smart, he'll sign for what they're offering him with incentives. You get yourself an incentive-laden contract. That way, if you play up to your incentives, boom, you done made your money back up. You know, NFL teams, they really need to start getting into the practice of that when you're having tough contract negotiations with players, especially those that are starters. Nobody cares about a backup. So, but you still need the draft for the future. You do need to get another tight end now that you've let that liability in Austin Hooper go. Good Lord, 25 million? Good Lord. Not for stone hands dropped to the ground. No, thank you. No, thank you. I knew they were going to get rid of him. I was like they probably going to get rid of him. Well, they slated him cut for June 1st. But I figured they would. I knew for sure that June 1st he was gone. Yeah, we got snookered in that deal. It's okay. Probably get a tight end to replace him in the third round. And Njoku's going to be the starter, but that guy's going to be the second tight end, depending on what's going on with Harrison Bryant. You know, depending on his development. After that, that's it. I'm pretty sure Denzel's going to get his money. They're just waiting to see what the Packers do with Jair Alexander. So I'm not worried about that. So on the field, we finally got a quarterback that knows how to run an offense and carry a franchise on his back when things ain't going right. All right. And we got a wide receiver and a tight end that he can throw to, and possibly another second wide receiver that he can throw to. And we definitely got a running game that can keep him fresh and bail him out if he get into a slump. So, boom, we're set on the field. Now, we really need to give praise to Sashi Brown for setting all this in motion, because it was Sashi Brown's plan to do this. That's why he stripped the team down to the studs for salary cap, room, and draft capital. All right. Now, Sashi wasn't too great at talent, and unfortunately, he sacrificed his job in order to keep us from trading away that second round pick that wound up becoming Nick Chubb, which we have to thank John Dorsey for that. But the thing about it was that John Dorsey was trying to fast track what the Browns were trying to do, what Sashi Brown's plan was, because little do you know that AB was his apprentice when he was here. They all worked together with Paul DePodesta. Okay? Because Paul DePodesta, all right, to explain the role of Paul DePodesta, it's no secret, because we found this out during the Hugh Jackson era, was that we found out that Jimmy Haslam was very prone to taking the advice of the last person in the room. So Paul DePodesta, whenever somebody dealing with the Browns would be the last person in the room, Haslam would call up Paul DePodesta and tell him about the conversations and what took place, what the problem is, and Paul DePodesta would give him counsel on that. Paul DePodesta is the reason why they hired Sashi Brown and AB in the first place. Andrew Berry said, hey, hire these guys, let them run your front office, stay out of their way, let them do their jobs. If you have a problem, call me. I'll explain it to you. Okay, but those two guys work together. I know it's going to be rough with the fan base, but trust me. Stick with our script. We got you. But unfortunately, when Sashi Brown sacrificed his job, he had to bring in somebody because he didn't feel that Andrew Berry was ready. So he brought in Dorsey, and Dorsey tried to fast track the whole thing. But instead of taking Deshaun Watson, who everybody thought, even Hugh Jackson texted Deshaun Watson and told him to get ready, we were all clamoring for Deshaun Watson to get drafted here. But instead, they took Baker Mayfield. I mean, hell, in hindsight, you're like, man, like, why didn't we get Patrick Mahomes? Because in all honesty, he was the steal of the draft. Andy Reid pulled off a miracle. He hit a lick. He finally won his first Super Bowl. You know, I mean, hey, Chiefs are tough. Quarterback's a superstar. At any rate, it didn't work out because, Dorsey hired the wrong guy at head coach, which was really a blessing in disguise because Paul DePodesta told Jimmy Haslam, hire Kevin Stefanski. But instead, Dorsey overrode him, said, no, trust me, he's my guy, the running backs coach from last year who got promoted to help coordinate the offense. He makes the calls on the fields, but he's not the actual offensive coordinator. It's a team effort. Because Greg Williams said, hey, I got a rookie quarterback here. I got two good running backs. I got a solid defense. We play solid defense. We'll be in some games. We might win some ball games. And sure enough, that's exactly what he did. He played old school smash mouth football. And we won games, almost went to the playoffs after that crazy year. People were asking that year, why isn't Nick Chubb? Why wasn't he starting the game? Why wasn't Baker Mayfield starting? It was like, oh, just wild. Hugh Jackson and just wild, just dumb. But yeah, he hired the whole football Jesse. it sucked. It killed the year, but at least we got Dorsey up out of his seat. All right, because he deviated from the plan. But now the apprentice, AB, is ready. He stepped in. And the first thing he did was hire Kevin Stefanski, who should have been the coach last year. It's just that he wouldn't have meshed with the GM, but these guys get along. They're friends. Andrew Berry is a very likable guy. I mean, hell, the players call him AB. That's a nickname. You only give people nicknames like that when you respect the hell out of them, when you like them, when they're good people, smart people. And that's exactly what he is. He's just carrying out Sashi Brown's plan, except he has a better eye for talent. He knows how to manage the salary cap, and he knows where the team sits as far as the pulse of the team and the talent level of the team. What areas need improvement? He's doing that. Baker had some moments, yes, but he's not the guy. Last year proved it. His injuries weren't the problem. His ability to read the defense and throw accurately were the problem. Trust me, if it was just about his injuries, Deshaun Watson wouldn't be here. For some reason, he just went dumb. But I do believe that's because he was playing for a contract and he was trying to play hero ball. But the problem was that he wasn't listening to what Kevin Stefanski was telling him. How do you think when, like, well, why didn't you sit Baker down? Like, hey, Baker said he's good to go. He said he's healthy enough to play. Yeah, they didn't get along. You wonder why Stefanski showed no emotion whatsoever? Why Jarvis Landry showed no emotion whatsoever, especially after they cut Odell? You see how enthusiastic the Browns played in that Cincinnati game? And the other games when we had the backups in, they played their hearts out in those games. Trust me, it's not just it has nothing to do with the injuries whatsoever. It was just a bad fit. He needs a fresh start, and the Browns need a real quarterback. Soak it in. Trust me, you're going to be loving it. At any rate, Andrew Berry is just keeping Sashi Brown's plan in place. You tear it down, and within 5 years, trust me, you'll have a good football team. All you have to do is just trust your scouts and manage the cap and put some free agents in, sprinkle them in certain key positions. And always upgrade. Always keep upgrading. There's no such thing as loyalty in this business. That's for fans, not us. This is a business, not a friendship. But here's some really good news for the Clevelanders. So there was an article that came out yesterday. It's here on the clevelandbrowns.com news. And it says D and Jimmy Haslam has focused on bringing First Energy Stadium up to a better standard. Now, of course, when people heard that, they thought, oh my God, they're going to build a new stadium. And the argument about the new stadium is, will it be a dome or not? But see, what you don't understand is that it's much deeper than that. And you actually should hope that it's a dome. Hopefully it's retractable. So that way when you want that home field advantage in the cold and the snow, because we're not planning on throwing the ball like that in the cold and the snow. Yeah, let's open the dome up, get some snow on the field, and run Chubb and Hunt right at these guys. They're big, strong, powerful, bruising backs. These guys are definitely mutters. They've been here for some years. They've been here a couple of years. They know how to run in the snow. Yeah, we got one of the best offensive lines in football. Yeah, let's play football in the snow. But on those windy days in October, yeah, close the dome. So that way we can beat these chumps. So that way we don't barely beat the Texans 10-7 because of wind shear. Where the Raiders, where Derek Carr outrushes us, and the Raiders beat us in a game in which, if it wasn't so windy, we'd have ate them alive. Because we were putting teams away at halftime at that point. 31-3, 35-10, 38-13. We were killing teams before halftime. Can't do that on a windy day. So a dome, a retractable dome, would be ideal. But like I said, it's deeper than that. So the article reads, D and Jimmy Haslam has said Tuesday at the NFL owners meetings that they are exploring options to upgrade First Energy Stadium or seek plans for construction of a new stadium in Cleveland. They're definitely going new. If they can't figure out how to upgrade Cleveland Stadium and the area around it, they're definitely going new, because that's really the key here. I'll get to it. The Haslams, who have owned the Browns since 2012, that has been a long time. I know, 10 years? Man, man, took what, 8 years to get to this point. Took 8 years of them owning the team for it to become a winner. Ooh, not easy. Told reporters at the Breakers Hotel that their options will depend on how the city moves forward with plans to renovate its lakefront area. That's a big clue right there. Which hosts First Energy Stadium. So understand, if the stadium will not fit the stadium that's there now, if they can't make it work with what they have planned on the construction and in the surrounding area, then what's the next step? You have to build a new stadium. But you want to build the new stadium while the old stadium, the current stadium, is still in use. So that way you don't have to shuffle the team back and forth, because it's going to take you a year. So you don't have to shuffle the team back and forth to maybe play in Columbus or something like that. You just keep the old stadium. Yeah, go ahead, do a season in that while we build this one in a new location over here. So that way, when this is ready to go, then boom, it'll probably be in the off season, of course. So then we just go ahead, and if somebody want to demolish it and the fans take a piece of it, that's fine. But we got this shiny new stadium with all of its connecting activity in the surrounding area to go with it. Everything is modernized and new. All right. So They're saying, of course, First Energy Stadium has served as home of the Browns since the franchise returned to Cleveland in 1999. Yeah, and very rarely anything good happened in that stadium for the Cleveland Browns since 1999. So a new stadium, in all honesty, would be a fresh start. We're a way better team. We're no longer the sad sack Browns. We now have a bona fide franchise quarterback that's at least guaranteed to be here for 5 years. You hope. You got a very smart GM. You got a very talented young roster with its key players signed to long-term contracts. So everybody will be here for at least those 5 years. Young, good roster. Young, good, talented roster with a very smart head coach. Yeah, let's build a new stadium so that way our quarterback can throw the ball on windy days and our running backs can be bruisers on snowy days. And this was the real kicker that let me know exactly what was going on. Said the city and the Greater Cleveland Partnership has taken over the waterfront development piece, and we have committees working on that. D. Haslam said that's the backup plan. They're working on it. That's the backup plan. Like, so what happens if we can't redevelop this area and modernize this stadium? Yeah, what happens? Well, you're gonna have to build a new stadium. Okay, cool. Find a location. You found one? Cool. Work on that. See if you can buy up that property, and then we'll go ahead and build a new stadium if this don't work out. That way we're not wasting time. Because do understand they're not wasting time here. They're not putting all their eggs in one basket. That's bad business. Our part now is how we bring the stadium up to a better standard. So I think we've started interviewing and thinking about architects and consultants. Yeah, because oh no, I'll get to that. We're kind of in that very beginning stage and can start having those conversations and hopefully marry it with the work that the city and the partnerships are doing on the waterfront development. The waterfront development, that's so key. Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, that should have you very curious. It's worth stressing again that plans are still very much preliminary. In other words, we got to see how much this is going to cost. And depending on which location, whichever one is cheapest, that's what they're going to go with. The Haslams couldn't offer any additional information beyond expressing their interest in enhancing the home of the Browns. But the talks have begun and they're committed toward exploring all possibilities in building a better stadium. We're going to talk to a lot of people who are outside of the box thinkers, D. Haslam said, which means, okay, he said, do I wish I could make it a better stadium? I do, Jimmy Haslam added. The best thing we can do is put a winning team on the field. Having said that, we've got to pull effort into making the stadium the best it can be, working with the city, county, and state. Now, I want you to understand something here. This whole Brown situation right now, it goes so much deeper than football because they're also looking at the business. They're looking at the business side of it, of what they want to do with the surrounding property around the stadium. Because look, it's going to be a done deal. You're getting a dome stadium. You're getting a dome stadium. With how much money cities make and owners make when the Super Bowl and concerts and all and big events and whatnot that happen in stadiums during the off season. All right. Trust me, you're getting a dome stadium. Hopefully, it'll have a retractable roof. But also, what you're going to get with that dome stadium is that you're going to get an indoor mall attached to it. All right, with stores and restaurants and coffee shops and clothing stores. I mean, and eateries do understand what they're doing here, and they're probably in the middle of all that, they might build another hotel or two, because what they're going to do is they're going to make it an attraction, a place to go when you want to host an event, especially something like a Super Bowl. In order to host the Super Bowl, Cleveland needs another hotel or two. They need another hotel or two, probably two, but at least one big one. And you're going to need to have something for people to do while they're waiting for the event to happen. And you don't want people being frozen. This isn't Detroit 1981. You want the people to be able to leave their hotel room, come downstairs in just a sweater, come downstairs on the elevator, be able to shop somewhere, get something to eat, whatever their hearts desire, whatever they have a taste for. You should be able to get that, and then come 12 o'clock, okay, let me just walk on the other side of the mall and go to the gate without even having to go outside. So they go from hotel, mall, to the gate, to the stadium. And you don't even have to take off your sweater. You don't even need a jacket. You don't even have to go outside. Do you understand how much money and how much money that's going to bring in, and how many jobs that this is going to create for Clevelanders? All those jobs that dried up when LeBron James left. I mean, we're Clevelanders. We're not really a Cavs fans like that. I mean, we love our Cavs. Yeah, sure. LeBron was the best thing that happened to us since Lenny Wilkins. They rock Michael Jordan rotten hell. I'm joking. Uh, Watching him play against us made me a Jordan fan. Good Lord, that man was awesome. At any rate, we're a football town. If the team is winning, the people will come, especially when they can go and check out the new mall before the game starts, and then have it open even when there's no game, like Monday through Saturday, or 7 days a week, even in the off season, where it replaces the old mall. Yeah, this new state of the art indoor mall, better Wi-Fi, better charging stations. You understand? Everything brand new. We love brand new. That place is going to make money. It's going to make money. It will become a destination. That means more jobs for people. So understand, Jimmy Haslam, for everything that he's done, that we got mad at him for, firing coaches after a year, firing GMs. He's finally righted the ship. He got the right team in place dealing with football operations, and now he's about to seriously capitalize on making money here in Cleveland. He's about to revitalize the city's economy. The man knows what he's doing. As much as we as much as we clown him, as much as we've clowned him, all right, he finally got the right people in place. All right. No more people from New England, no more patriot people. Remember Josh McDaniels talking about, you need to fire the whole front office and have me take, like, man, if you don't get the F out of here, they he got Chris Rock get the hell out of here. Yeah, trust me. Trust me. It's looking very bright in Cleveland on and off the field. You guys should be rejoicing. I know I am. I don't even live there, and I'm happy. I'm happy for my hometown. Man, I really do wish all of this comes true. Stop arguing about the stadium. If anything, what you should be flooding your Twitter feed with is, I hope, especially the Browns Twitter, is like, hey, look, if we get a dome, can it be retractable? I'll be hitting them with that. That way you can still keep your competitive edge and still have your home field advantage when it gets cold out. And make money on the side by hosting a Super Bowl or two, a DNC and RNC convention, you know, whoever the latest entertainer is. Yeah, come on, go to the Cleveland Dome. Shoot, make some money. Beautiful spot. Well, that's all really that I have to say. Because, I mean, to close it out, as far as I'm concerned, if you're rooting against the Browns because of a player, then you're not a Browns player, because no player is bigger than the team. If you're on the team, you're with us. If you're off the team, we wish you well if we liked you as a player. We understand you gave it your all, but you know, sometimes your all's not good enough. But how you handled the situation is really what defines you as a team player or not. And this team needs team players that can play. All right. Good night, everybody. And good luck to those of you in Cleveland. I hope what I said comes true. Cash strapped as that city is. Oh my God.